In the far reaches of an ancient kingdom lost to time, there is a story whispered only in crumbling temples and fading scrolls. A story so strange, so unbelievable, that even the kings who once ruled the land tried to erase every trace of it. Yet the earth remembers, and so do the shadows. It is the story of a child unlike any other, a girl whose touch could turn blood into gold. Her name was Saelira, and from the moment she opened her eyes, something about her was different. The midwives swore her gaze glowed like molten metal. Her mother claimed she never cried, not even once, as if she already understood the world in ways no child should. The villagers treated her politely but distantly, not out of kindness, out of fear. They sensed something ancient within her, something powerful, something that didn't belong to ordinary people. For years, Saelira lived quietly. She played in the dusty streets, collected stones by the river, and helped her mother grind grain at dawn. Nothing about her life seemed magical at all, until the day everything changed. It happened as simply as a child tripping over a broken stone. Saelira fell, scraped her palm, and watched as a single drop of blood rolled down her hand, but before it reached the ground, the drop thickened, hardened, and transformed into a small, glittering piece of pure gold. Her mother screamed, her father fell to his knees, and by the next morning the entire village whispered her name with a mixture of awe and terror. Some said she was blessed by gods, some said cursed, and a few believed something even stranger, that Saelira was not born, but awakened. Word traveled quickly, much too quickly. It reached the ears of the king, a man whose heart was harder than stone and greedier than fire. When he heard of a child who could create gold, he sent soldiers immediately. They rode into the village with banners raised not for celebration, but for authority. They declared that the child would be escorted to the palace, that her ability was a gift for the kingdom, that she belonged to the throne now. Saelira didn't resist. She was frightened, confused, and far too young to understand what was happening. Her parents begged the soldiers to let her stay, but their pleas fell on deaf ears. Within hours, Saelira was inside the palace walls, walls built on old wealth, but soon to be rebuilt with hers. At first, the king treated her with gentle smiles and soft words. He gave her beautiful clothes, warm meals, and a room filled with golden decorations. Yet Saelira noticed something unsettling. The king always watched her hands, always, and the more he watched, the less he smiled. Then the experiments began. A servant was ordered to cut his finger. As blood dripped to the floor, the king commanded Saelira to touch it. Terrified, she obeyed. The red liquid shimmered, then froze into gold. The king applauded like a child at a festival. Saelira trembled. Day after day the king demanded more. A goat, then a horse, then a condemned prisoner. Every drop of blood she touched turned to gold, and with each transformation, Saelira felt something slipping away. Her warmth, her energy, her breath, as if the gold took pieces of her life with it. One night, barely able to stand, she collapsed in the palace halls. A healer was summoned. After examining her, his face paled with horror. Her pulse was faint. Her cells, what they understood in their ancient way, seemed drained. He realized what the king refused to see. Saelira's golden transformations were not a gift. They were an exchange. Every act of creation took something from her. When the healer tried to warn the king, he was silenced. Permanently, but not before he whispered a final message to Saelira. Your life is worth more than his gold. That night, Saelira made a choice that would change the kingdom forever. She slipped out of her golden chamber unnoticed by guards who believed she was too weak to walk. She found a quiet corner in the courtyard, placed her trembling hand on her own chest, and let a single, final drop of blood fall into her palm. It glowed, bright enough to illuminate the entire courtyard, and turned into the purest gold she had ever created. On that small coin, she carved a message with the last of her strength. Life is worth more than gold. She left it on the healer's grave and disappeared into the night. The palace guards searched for weeks. The king tore apart villages looking for her. But Saelira was gone, lost to forests, mountains, or perhaps to something beyond this world. Years passed. The kingdom collapsed under its own greed. Villagers claimed that the mountains glowed faintly at night. Travelers whispered that they saw a golden-eyed figure wandering the cliffs. And centuries later, explorers found something extraordinary, a statue hidden deep in a forgotten valley. The statue was made of gold, shaped like a young girl with sorrowful eyes. But when the statue was tested, scientists found something unbelievable. The gold contained human DNA. So who was Saelira? A cursed child? A miracle of ancient nature? A being from another age? Or something far more powerful? Something the world was never meant to understand? Whatever the truth is, her legend remains. A warning, a mystery, and a reminder that not all treasures are blessings, and not all miracles are meant to be controlled. Tell me what you believe, and join me again for more ancient weirdness.